So you mentioned earlier with the individuals. I don't know if it's like your secret sauce or anything, but you mentioned there were two questions that you ask people. Can
Yeah.
you share what they are, or is it your secret sauce?
Yeah, I've done the podcast now. People all know it's when you interact with people, how do you want them to feel? And how would you say that as a 10, 11, or 12-year-old? Doesn't like when you interact with people, how do you want them to feel?
Oh, enlightened.
Enlightened. Okay. I always write this down. Anything else?
Yeah, and a little bit happier than when I started speaking to them. It's that feeling of wow. It's like, I didn't know that. Or is that how that works?
Yeah. And when you have that feeling of like, when you have that sense of like, wow, like how did that work? How would you describe that feeling in language you used when you were young? Like how does that leave you?
Oh, it does. It leaves you kind of happy. It's like I've learned, because you do want to learn when you're younger. You just don't necessarily want to do it at school.
Yeah. So are
You
you
want to
about
learn
people?
stuff off your dad. You want to learn stuff from your friends, and you just want to say, oh, how do you solve that Rubik's cube?
Yeah.
You want to play that video game. What's the cheat mode? You want to find stuff. You want to learn stuff. You got to discover stuff. And if someone goes, look over there, there's a thing. You go, oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So are you about people being happy?
Totally.
Yeah. So and this is how it is. And this so you're about people being happy. We're going to talk about your work in a second, but how does helping people be happy show up throughout your life, kind of, your non-work life?
Yeah. Look, I'm going to go back a little step. An uncle, one of my favorite uncles, he passed away about 10 years ago, and I thought I might have to write the eulogy for a long reason, but so I thought about him and I thought, how can I sum him up? And I thought, wow, no one ever said a bad word about him. And that was going to be the central theme of the eulogy. And then I thought, it was pretty profound actually, just going through the thought process. I thought, wow, that's a really good way to live your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think when I'm dealing with people, I can be argumentative and I can be aggressive. And I used to be in my banking days. I've really toned that down. I don't need to bring that into the world. I need to calm it down. So I just want to be the no stress, kind of chill person. Doesn't mean I get taken advantage of, but I don't want people saying a bad thing about me. I think that's my little first
and
step.
so how was your secret shopper program about creating happiness for yourself and other people?
Well, we've designed, I've designed or thought about a purpose for that company. It is to reveal the truth. So what we do is to frame it in, couch in the terms of happiness. It is this discovery process of, this is interesting thinking about it. People worry about, like we do with big corporates, and they worry about like, how is Sally in whatever store 1,000 miles away? What's she doing with my brand? And you have all these imaginary stories, you hear anecdotes and everything. What we do is we reveal the truth. We'll tell you what's really going on. And they do this, they either discover something they didn't know, they confirm something that they knew, or they discover, or they disprove something that they thought was true. Like one of three things happens.
Right.
At all times it's like, oh, wow. So that's what's going on. So there is a bit of that wow factor. And it makes them happy, but in a perverse way, it can really annoy them because they don't like the truth. So the interesting thing is they're happy to know what the answer is, but they're not really happy with what it says. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it says
it's shoot the messenger, then I cop the bullets. It's like, no, what you said was not right, whatever.
Yeah.
But, that's an interesting little thought process.
Yeah. So, and what you're really about is you're talking to these clients, and you're like, hey, my goal is to have you be happy. Like I want your store to be, I want you to be happy as the business or the brand owner. And the way we're going to do that is we're actually going to measure the happiness of the experience of the store. Like how much happiness is showing up in the store, what's it like for the experience of the shopper to go
Cool.
through? What's the experience? And what we do a little bit further breakdown is because happiness is a very big, broad word.
Yeah.
We would spend some more time breaking down what happiness actually means to you.
Yeah.
And then those really become like the values of your company.
Yeah, right.
But overall, who you are is about people being happy.